Straight ahead on CCX News, devastation in Brooklyn Center. A family loses everything in a townhome fire. Plus, opioid treatment center denied. Why Brooklyn Park cited against a facility to help chemically dependent patients. But first, more Sears store closures, this one impacting a local store that's been around for more than 50 years. CCX News starts right now. Hello everyone and thanks for joining us. It is the end of an era in Brooklyn Center.
The Sears store has been around since the former Brookdale Mall was new. Now it will close in September. The Brooklyn Center Sears store dates back to the early 1960s. It is one of 63 Sears and Kmart stores that are closing across the country. University of Minnesota marketing professor George Johns says Sears has been on a long decline. He says they were challenged by discounters like Walmart and Target and internet retailers. He says Sears was not nimble enough to keep up. We talked with a former customer who was shopping across the street.
I really don't like it. I didn't know this one was still open. That's why I'm here at K&G shopping for suits instead of at Sears, because I'm a Sears credit card holder. And it is a bummer because they've closed a lot of stores down in Brooklyn Center and we have to go so far out to buy other stuff from other places, like my patio furniture and tennis shoes, things like that. That's what's cheaper for me if I went to Sears and use my credit card.
Sears says liquidation sales will start in mid-June. Workers will be offered severance and can apply for positions at other Kmart or Sears stores.
And a popular thrift store in Brooklyn Center is closing. After 18 years on Brooklyn Boulevard, Ark's Value Village will close after June 10th. The store lost its lease and another discount store is expected to move into the space. At Ark, money raised from sales helps to pay for programs for children and adults with disabilities. Officials say closing the store will be a loss.
The store is really popular. Yeah, it's a good store. It's probably our smallest store here, but it does a good business, and we're very proud of this store. Our staff and volunteers have worked really hard to make it a nice store, and the support in the neighborhood has been great, so we're sad to see it go.
Employees will be offered positions at the 4 other stores that remain. The nearest one is located in New Hope. Brooklyn Center family is without their home after a fire on Wednesday night.
Flames broke out in the 7200 block of Unity Avenue around 10:30 Wednesday night. Reporter Sonia Goins has the story.
Actually, right now, I'm kind of confused.
Erica McWilliams is visibly shaken as she takes a look at what's left of her rental townhome.
We don't have nothing right now. It's a disaster. As you can see, nothing survived in our room. Everything got like totally burned.
Melted plastic siding and charred pieces of wood are all that's left of Erica's home.
Before I looked, the whole place started blazing out.
The family had just finished saying their bedtime prayers when the fire broke out in the daughter's bedroom on the 2nd floor.
When I came from my room, I saw the fire on the bed. So I was like, fire, what happened here, fire?
The recently divorced mom scrambled to get 3 of her children out of the home.
I just thank God that my kids are safe and I was able to take them out of the place right away.
Once they got out, reality set in.
I started screaming and shouting and brought all of them outside, asking the neighbors to call 911.
The family left with just the clothes on their backs.
My kids don't even have shoes to wear right now.
Although they lost their belongings, McWilliams says, in a lot of ways, they're lucky.
The good thing about it, my kids are safe. It's the most important thing.
In Brooklyn Center, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
A total of 4 children live at the townhome. One of the boys was not home at the time. The Brooklyn Center Fire Department is still trying to determine the cause.
Inside City Hall, Brooklyn Park found itself in the center of the opioid epidemic this week. City Council listened to concerns from neighbors about plans for a small treatment center for opioid-addicted patients.
Is anyone going to guarantee the safety of our children? With all the school shootings and crime in our society, with all the additional traffic concerns, we believe a better location can be found.
The facility, called Northstar Behavioral Health, would contain 16 beds and provide around-the-clock care for women suffering from opioid dependence. According to the director, there's only one other program like it in the country, that being in New Jersey. But council members were conflicted. Some believe it won't cause any problems. Others were concerned by the location abutting the backyards of homes.
I don't believe that it will be the problem that some of the neighbors think that it will be. And I want you to call me the minute it is a problem.
I believe that it would be an adverse effect and alter the character of the immediate surrounding areas and the residential neighborhood. With that, I cannot vote for this.
This is really sad that this is not going to be here because we need this.
Brooklyn Park City Council ended up voting against the project by a 4-2 vote.
CCX News also looked through a 147-page feasibility study of a possible new aquatic facility in Brooklyn Park. The study discusses 6 options, everything from a lap pool for lessons with an outdoor splash pad to a facility with all those amenities, plus a 50-meter pool to host competitive swim meets. A gymnasium with a walking track and a fitness center are also part of the discussion. The options range in cost from $12 million to $41 million. Such a facility could be added on to the Community Activity Center or built at a new to-be-determined site. The city will poll residents in June to try to narrow down the options. The top option could go to a voter referendum in November.
Meanwhile, there is joy for state funding of a new 50-meter pool in New Hope.
Thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. I immediately called my senator and my representatives and thanked them for that.
And that was the reaction from Mayor KATHI HEMKEN after finding out New Hope is getting $2 million of state money. The extra cash means the city can build a $10 million 50-meter pool instead of one that's about half the size. City officials don't know exactly what the 50-meter pool will look like yet. They also know they can't please everyone.
Everybody has their own ideas of what they want in the pool, whether it's the mom with the little kids that want the splash deck or the swim teams. We're trying to do the best we can to replace the pool that we had. And that's what the $2 million is going to do for us, I think.
The pool will likely be built on the site of the current City Hall after it is torn down. The New Hope City Council could decide on the pool June 18th.
A DFL state senator says there were a lot of missed opportunities in this past legislative session. But one of the few bright spots, according to Senator Ron Latz of St. Louis Park, is the passage of a pension bill. The bill corrects a long-term financial imbalance that existed for Minnesota's public employees.
We did a combination of things with some greater financial contribution from existing employees, from existing employers to those existing employees, and also some adjustments for the retirees as well. So this was several years in the making, and we finally did reach the consensus necessary to take care of a whole bunch of the different funds, from teachers to local government employees to the direct state employees as well.
Among the disappointments this session, Latz cites the absence of funding for transit, such as buses or light rail. He believes without any funding for planning and development of the transit system, projects such as the Bottineau light rail line are at great risk. He's also concerned there wasn't funding for a pedestrian underpass at Highway 55 and Douglas Drive, a dangerous intersection where students cross near Purpose Arts High School. And Latz believes the tax system must be fixed before the next session starts in January. And he vows to continue his ongoing work on extending background checks for gun purchases.
I carried the bill to provide for extreme risk protection orders that would enable law enforcement to remove temporarily guns from the hands of people who are in crisis, either at risk of hurting someone else or committing suicide. We couldn't even get a hearing on those bills, even though they've got 90% public support across the state, and including among gun owners, which is just ironic. We couldn't even get a hearing on those bills.
Coming up on Friday, we will hear from Republican State Senator Paul Anderson of Plymouth. Still ahead, a Maple Grove mom's 5-year battle with breast cancer and the message she wants to share with others.
Plus, they dodged the rain. Highlights from the Section 6 baseball tournament.
But first, sunshine without any raindrops on Friday. We'll be right back.
National Cancer Survivors Day is Sunday, and a Maple Grove woman will be in the spotlight for it.
Breast cancer survivor KRIS West will be the featured speaker for Minnesota's Oncology Signature event Sunday. Reporter Shannon Slatton explains why she's sharing her story.
Stage 4, so it's treatable but not curable.
KRIS West sums up her 5-year battle with cancer with those words.
It metastasized to my lymph nodes and all of my bones, so from my head to my toe. And so when they do a PET scan, that lights up yellow. And it just lit up like a Christmas tree.
But after treatment, KRIS's scans are clear.
It's always there in the back of your mind, but you try and be normal.
She's still on medicine.
2 surgeries, 9 months.
And that has caused other complications like a foot fracture that has taken a long time to heal.
I'm on crutches. I'm still supposed to be non-weight bearing.
But one of the most remarkable things about this cancer survivor,
I'm trying to stay busy, and
is that she's been a voice of encouragement.
I think it's important to share with others. And this is the very first year of Hope in Motion. So that was 5 years ago, because it's a 5-year anniversary this year.
This year, she'll share her positive message with others at the Hope in Motion 5K and Family Walk.
It's been a good thing to be part of. I really enjoy it. It's all kinds of cancers. It's also National Cancer Survivor Day. And also all the money goes to Angel Foundation, which gives directly back to cancer patients.
You can see KRIS lives out her advice to others in her pictures.
This is my fundraiser book.
Stay surrounded by your friends and family.
And there we are again.
Stay positive.
This is all my volunteers.
And stay active.
I always feel like if I get up, get dressed, and get ready for the day, it's going to make it a better day.
In Maple Grove, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
KRIS West will speak Sunday at the Hope in Motion 5K and Family Walk at Lake Phalen in St. Paul. All proceeds are donated to the Angel Foundation, a nonprofit that helps people actively fighting cancer pay bills like a mortgage or utilities while they're undergoing treatment. Still ahead, a garage sale that keeps getting bigger and bigger.
But first, we head out to the lake with Terry Tuma to explore the wonders of the wacky worm. Jay Wilcox says that, plus baseball and lacrosse highlights coming up next.
I'm Jay Wilcox with sports. While several local teams were rained out from section baseball tournament games Wednesday, the new turf field at Hopkins High School allowed 3 games in section 6 4A to be played there. That included 3rd seed Armstrong facing 2nd seed Wayzata. And Wayzata strikes early as Nick Krinke drives one over the right fielder's head in the bottom of the 1st. Keegan Nickel and Turner McIntosh score on a double for Krinke, and it's quickly 2-0 Trojans. Armstrong gets a run in the 2nd as Drew Ides grounder to short scores Travis Mosley, but overall the Falcons don't muster much offense. Trojan starter Nick Kay holds them to 3 hits over 6 innings of working, striking out 8. Up 3-1, Wayzata breaks it open in the 5th as Charles Engdahl knocks it just fair over first base. 2-run score on the play on Engdahl's double as defending section champ Wayzata opens the postseason with a 6-1 win over Armstrong. The top seed in section 6 4A is Hopkins. The Royals earned a first-round bye and took on Minneapolis City Conference champion Southwest in the winner's bracket Wednesday. In the 2nd inning, Rafael Lewis tags a line drive down the right field line for Hopkins. 2-run score on the play on a double for Lewis. It's in a game that features mostly pitching and defense. The Lakers get one of their own in the 4th as Jacob Kuneski rips a line drive up the middle. It brings Levi Wilson home. Southwest pulls within a run at 2-1. But Joey Kurth doesn't give up much. He holds Southwest to 4 hits as the early runs hold up. The Royals win 2-1, and they'll face Wayzata in the winner's bracket final Monday afternoon at Hopkins. Many local lacrosse teams open section play tonight, Thursday. One local team, the Osseo-Park Center girls, faced off Wednesday in the Section 8 quarterfinals. The 3rd-seeded Crocs at home to play 6th seed Monticello. First half, OPC sophomore Lariah Boone spins away and buries the shot. Then it's Gabrielle Holton with a nice move, and she scores for a 5-1 Crocs lead. But the Magic goes on a 5-goal run. Oriana Johnson scores from the free position for a 6-5 Monticello lead. They lead 9-6 at halftime. Holton gets around her defender and gets OPC going with a goal early in the 2nd half. Monticello answers with a nice pass by Kenzie Kitzman to Emma Cordell for the goal. And then Kitzman will come out front and score on a nifty shot as Monticello goes on to the upset win. 16-10 Magic is the final. Well, there's one lure pro angler Terry Tuma likes when he is out fishing for bass. Terry tells us about it in this week's CCX Fishing Tip.
A go-to lure for smallmouth and largemouth bass is really a wacky worm, along with some other methods, if you will. And generally speaking, I'll use either the Gulp sinking minnow or the Berkeley General. And both of these are extremely productive under specific and different conditions. And of course, I think most of us understand in using a wacky worm hook and just inserting in the center. And really what triggers these fish is that real slow fall. You can also use a wacky worm jig for deeper water, more aggressive fish. And it's just that the tails really vibrate in that water column. But the main factor here is, you can cast out, just leave it lay. You can cast out, you can twitch it, you can sort of jig it, you can hop it, you can crawl it along the bottom. But really what I wanted to mention that most people are not aware of is using a dead stick approach, casting it out and just leaving it lay. Many times anglers will ask me, well, how long do you leave it lay? Let the bass tell you. I have let it lay up to 4 minutes, and usually what happens if you're in these areas where these fish are at, that fish, that bass, cannot resist it after it keeps eyeing it and eyeing it and eyeing it. It will pick it up. When it does pick it up, you want to set the hook very firm. Many times a bigger fish, or even a smaller bass, I'll set the hook 2 to 3 times to make sure I do not lose. Give it a try. You're going to be very, very successful with the wacky worm, especially under a tougher bite condition.
Thanks, Terry. Great advice there. Also, the Maple Grove boys golf team won the Section 5 3A title, and we'll have highlights of that Friday starting at 4. Alex and Mike, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Jay. Still ahead, food trucks and a pack of hungry bargain shoppers.
We will visit Brooklyn Park's biggest garage sale when we come back. And finally, bargain hunters activate.
That's right. Brooklyn Park's largest citywide garage sale to date is underway. Right. More than 150 independent garage sales are operating in the city through Saturday. The annual affair offers a chance to, of course, hunt for a treasure, but it's also a prime opportunity to get to know Brooklyn Park and all of its neighborhoods.
There's everything, furniture, household items, there's designer items, handbags, shoes, designer, yes. And just camaraderie with the neighbors in the neighborhood and for people to get a chance to meet one another.
Also new this year, food trucks are part of the citywide garage sale. Lake Street Barbecue is stationed at Central Park, and G.I. Joe's is at Orchard Trail Park. For a complete listing of the garage sales, you can go to brooklynpark.org. Lots of offerings up there. You and I were both out there, and I think they're going to have some good customers.
It's a good combo, garage sales and barbecue.
And food trucks, that's right.
Hard to miss.
That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And to see you back here again Friday, starting at 4.